Since All-Star break, you have been explosive. What is motivating you?
My family, my baby. So yeah.
Jalen Green is one of the bounciest, shiftiest, best shooting, swaggiest, trippiest.
Fuck are you doing?
I'm Jalen Green highlights.
What the fuck are you doing?
Watch Jalen Green highlights. I swear. I swear. Trippiest players in the new school. He had a fiery start to the season. He was averaging 28 points, 43% from the field, 40% from three. Unfortunately, he's really tapered off after that. He's averaging 10 less points per game, shooting 27% from three. And if it weren't for his one 40-point game and his one 30-point game, he'd be averaging 13 points over the 26 games he played. And he's really a scorer more than anything. Maybe he's getting used to his powers. Maybe, he's dealing with being a new father. But he can definitely be a 25, 5-5, 50, 40, 90 type of player. He's shown flashes. It's just a matter of time. The good news is the Rockets are number 3 in the West. And with their current roster, Ime Udoka, Alperen Sengun, a.k.a. Baby Jokic, Van Vliet, Dylan the Villain, one of my favorites. He's got room to get his legs back while still contending for the playoffs. They're sneaky good in 2K, but they're actually good in real life. But this video is not about the Rockets. It's about Jalen Green, professional ball player and professional raw dogger. Not one, but 2 women were knocked up by this Filipino philanderer, this Punani Punisher, the real Rocket Man. And those are only the ones we can confirm. He was getting a lot of attention last season for playing really good. And according to the memes, he was playing out of his mind because he needed that child support money. Yeah, some of the memes were funny. But is it true? Is it even a little bit true? Was he balling because of the babies? Maybe 2 baby mamas at the same exact time has a significant impact on player performance. There was a study on prime 2018 James Harden, the 35 points per game one, that found that there was a moderate to strong correlation between Harden's stats and the quality of strip clubs in those cities. He played better in the cities with terrible strip clubs, and he played noticeably worse in the cities with great strip clubs. His worst game was in Miami. Like, the data does not lie. So I did some research. Baby number 1. The mother is a Cal State student, former volleyball player, so there might be some WNBA genes in there. And according to this Instagram post, the baby came out on February 12th, 2024. And if we assume a 9-month pregnancy, 9-month gestation period, no preemies, no changing due dates, a punctual baby. Baby number 1 was conceived on May 12th, 2023. Baby number 2. Well, baby number 2 for Jalen. This is baby number 3 for Draya Michele, and her first non-NFL baby. According to this Instagram post, baby number 2 came out on May 12th, 2024. Subtract 9 months, and the baby was conceived on August 12th, 2023. Those conception dates are 3 months apart. Now, why does this timeline matter? I'm gonna show you the stats, but first, it's time for a biology lesson. Human pregnancy is typically 9 months long and is split into 3 parts that are known as trimesters. While each trimester is 3 months long, there are different hormones and different symptoms for each period, so they're not really equal. Some are actually worse than others. Typical symptoms of the first trimester: bloating, constipation, morning sickness, sleep deprivation, mood swings because all the hormones going through. The body's going into overdrive, emotional nausea, fatigue. It's not a great time. It's not a great time, but the joy of life. Trimester number 2. It's actually pretty chill. There's actually a hormone called relaxin, which, hint, hint, makes the body relax. This is also the time where you hear people talking about pregnancy glow. The skin is glowing. The skin is immaculate. Just looking great. That's the second trimester. Third trimester is in real competition with the first trimester. There's ankle swelling. There's a burst of estrogen. Burst of estrogen. Burst of estrogen. Estrogen is flowing. Estrogen is flowing through the body. Estrogen is flowing through the body. There's ankle swelling. The stomach is just super big. The super big acid reflux. Heartburn. Sleep deprivation. It's kind of hard to sleep when you got a 20-pound stomach. Breast pain. Just anxiety, distress. All sorts of symptoms. Every pregnancy is different. But based on general consensus and the list of symptoms, from worst to best trimester, we've got the first trimester. It has all the symptoms. It has all the symptoms except for the stomach. But it's also the surprise of pregnancy that can get you. You got the third trimester. Most of the symptoms as well. Now you got the stomach too, but you're kind of used to it. And then we have the second trimester as the chillest, most relaxing period of the pregnancy. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. Again, every pregnancy is different. So if somebody says this is wrong, potato. But one thing I know for sure is if your pregnant baby mama is stressed, then you're stressed. I'm sure Jalen wants to be present in both of their lives, but he's only dating one of the mothers. According to all the evidence I could find, he's still dating Draya Michele. So he's gonna feel the stress while Draya Michele is pregnant. But with baby mama number 1, it's more secondhand stress, because he doesn't have to deal with that in person. Now let's look at the stats. Here are stats for 2023, and here are stats for 2024. Normal, streaky, normal, streaky, normal, streaky, normal, streaky. This graph shows the points he had in every game of the season. The red bars are the bad games, which are where he scored under league average for shooting guards. He is a shooting guard. He does not handle the ball like that. Now you may be thinking, okay, he had an up and down season, some scoring here, some non-scoring there, but he still had better stats on average. And you'd be right if you weren't wrong. 2024 was actually an overall statistical regression for Jalen. Pretty much has the same percentages throughout his career, but he averaged 2.5 less points. And he actually had less 30-point games and less 40-point games and less 20-point games. So how could he have been having a breakout year like the media was telling us? Clearly there's a cluster of good games near the end of the season, but we've got to start at game 1. Okay, regular, whatever, couple good games, couple bad games, 9 straight bad games. Again, these are games under 17 points per game, because scoring is all we're really looking at. His percentages stay the same. Now, this is the second most stressful period, where baby number 1 is about to be born. Diapers are being bought, impending pressure and worries about being a father. But to be fair, they did play 9 games in 16 days with 3 back-to-backs. It is possible he clocked out because he knew he was going to be tired anyways. We continue regular. Okay, 3 bad games, yada. Okay, longest streak so far, 5 good games. Okay, remember, February 12th is when baby number 1 makes their entrance. Before this streak of 6 bad games, Jalen had his first triple-double with 26, 14, and 10. Then the day of his daughter's birth, he couldn't even get off work. He was in Houston. Remember, baby mama number 1 lives in Cali. So either the baby was born, he was overwhelmed, he went to the game, or he went to the game and had to rush over to Cali to see the birth of his daughter. Either way, he had a lot on his mind, and he was finally a father. So that could explain his poor performance for that game and the 3 weeks after. Maybe, the baby just came out. You got to 10. It's a crucial time for the baby, crucial time for the mother. We don't know how difficult the pregnancy was, so it's possible those were all contributing to that. The 3 weeks of bad games. Funny enough, if we go back about like 3 weeks to January 26th, assuming a textbook 9-month pregnancy, 3 weeks before the birth of the kid, that's when you really start feeling contractions. That's when contractions start coming frequently, just out of nowhere, multiple times a day, multiple times. The baby could come at any time, and you're feeling these contractions. So that may have started motivating him. He didn't know when the kid was about to be born. From January 26th to February 12th, the birth of the baby, he had his first double-double, and his second double-double, and third double-double, and the fourth double-double of his career, right before the birth of the baby. So those contractions might have done something. Now we're in March. Here is where the magic happened. And these are where the memes really started. Jalen had 2 40-point games in the same week, 4 30-point games, 3 double-doubles, and wins player of the week, all in March. His averages, 28 points, 50% field goal percentage, 40% three-point, 50, I told you, 50, 40, 90, 25, 5, and 5 is looking amazing. Also kind of looks like his stats at the beginning of this season. Like I said before, these stat lines are not new to Jalen. He had more 30-point games, more 40-point games. He averaged more points last season. So why did they get attention? Why did they get attention? These stat lines are not new for Jalen. He's like that, except for double-doubles. He never got a double-double or player of the week, but everything else he's done in a more consistent manner last season. So why is he getting attention this season? That was a rhetorical question, because the reason him and the Rockets got all that attention. In March, the Rockets were 13-2. 13-2. This is the same team who the season before had 60 losses, and the season before that had 62 losses. They won 11 straight games and were chasing down. They were right. They almost had a play-in spot. They almost got the play-in spot over Golden State. But then Tari Eason, he was running his mouth on Instagram Live. He wasn't even playing. He was not even playing, and he decided to poke the bear. So the Rockets lost 5 straight games and lost their chances of getting in the playoffs. But because they were winning and they were on a winning streak, and Jalen was playing out of his mind, he was going crazy that entire month. The only 2 losses they had were the games where he scored the lowest amount of points. They weren't even crazy losses against really good teams. They just lost. And Jalen didn't score even 20 points in those games. That just shows in the NBA, you could be the greatest player. You could have the greatest season, the greatest stats. But if you're not winning, nobody cares. That's the same reason Curry didn't win MVP in 2022. That's the same reason Luka didn't win MVP last season. That's the same reason Wemby didn't get Defensive Player of the Year last year. They only care about winning. So is there any real significant data supporting the possibility that pregnancy made Jalen play better? Did babies make him ball? Did he ball because of the babies? Aside from the stats immediately after the birth of his first baby, there's not really any events that correspond with his stats in March like that. That was in the second worst trimester with the baby mother that he's actually in a relationship with, but there wasn't really any events corresponded to him going crazy in March and then going back to, typical play after that. Going crazy in March might have just been him making up for a disappointing season. So, if you ask me, yes, the baby's out. The babies made him play better. Yes, the memes are true. Becoming a father for the first time is scary. It's scary, it's nerve-wracking. It's understandable if his performance went down because of that. Because expecting 2 babies. But being a father is also one of the best things in the world. And that may really be what fuels Jalen. Either way, he got a big bag from that rookie extension. So child support is going to be the least of his problems.